Hi, I'm Lord Maitreya, the world teacher. I'm here at the hospital, and the abscess in my head is swelling because yesterday they took me off the Decadron a little too early, apparently, because feels like my hand has been electrocuted. I'm sweating, and the thing up here is swelling. So, since they're not doing anything, got some questions here from people from various groups around the internet. Namaste, light workers of the world, and I'd like to share some of my answers because I don't know if you guys realize this, but I'm in the hospital, and the machine that I'm using to do all the stuff that I do, that I've been doing for the past 3 weeks, it's a $30 ZTE track phone, and it's got a cracked screen on it. And for all you that worry about me not wearing a shirt, guys, I'm wearing pants. I'm in a hospital. I'm wearing hospital clothes. Please cut me some slack. All right. My head is swelling. It feels like my hand is being electrocuted, and I've been waiting 2 hours for my epilepsy medicine, and they still haven't got it to me yet. So I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to read answers from groups that have been in this place because there's some really good questions. You guys are really interesting. I really like you guys a lot. Let's see. I'll start with the top one. Someone in Namaste wrote, "What is God's purpose in putting Lucifer on planet Earth?" It's very simple. Lucifer was the guardian of the tree of life. You see, if you look in the book of Ezekiel, you'll find out that the being that's mentioned in there, that's beautiful and shimmering and has a nice voice, the book says that he was guarding the east. That's Lucifer. That proves biblically that the guardian of the tree of life is Lucifer. Oh, wow. They showed up. I wonder why. What's going on?
Hey, I'm checking your blood pressure, okay?
Weird, huh?
We do this stuff every day, right? Blood pressure.
I'll be right back. I got to get my blood pressure. You can watch him take my blood pressure. I'm still waiting for the doctor for my medicine.
Oh, okay. Is it supposed to be afternoon today? Afternoon?
My head is swelling.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not going to go down, dude, because my head.
Okay.
It's not going to go down.
Yeah.
You're going to be here all night waiting for a below 50 or below 90.
Let's have that.
Yes? They took me off the Decadron last night, and apparently they took it off a little too soon, because now my head's swelling. I had a CT scan today, and the doctor told me that there was slight swelling, and now it's getting worse. Someone earlier said it's because of coffee, but that's ludicrous. I've been drinking coffee my whole life.
I'll let you know tomorrow about it.
Thanks. Where was I? Thanks for hanging around, guys. I appreciate your patience. Patience, get it? So in Ezekiel, we're told that Lucifer is the guardian of the tree of life. So people would wonder, wait a minute, why would Adonai put Lucifer as the guardian of the tree of life? I mean, isn't Lucifer the bad guy? Well, according to the Garden of Eden story, Satan, the serpent, is the bad guy. Satan is a title, more like a term like king or lord, something like that. You know, like when you go to war, you know, that's my Satan over there. You know, it's a title, whereas Lucifer is the name. So Satan can be applied to a lot of different things. I consider Vladimir Putin to be Satan today, but that's just my opinion, and that's political, and I don't want to get into that too much. But Lucifer, however, he was pretty, he had a good voice, and he guarded the tree of life for a really good reason, because Adonai did not want any competition. Adonai is a mono-god, a monotheistic solo god, and when he made man in his image, he ceased to be God. So he had to put Lucifer to protect immortality, because if Adam became immortal, then God would kind of lose his thing. But Lucifer, however, he felt sorry for us. He thought that, you know, we got a bad rap, so he wanted to kind of help us out, and, you know, everything kind of happened. But to answer the question why he put Lucifer on the earth in the first place was to protect us. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Kelly. The reason why God put Lucifer on earth, at least according to the story of the Bible, was to protect the tree of life, to protect immortality from us, you know, from us getting immortality. Because think about it. This is gonna hurt. I know a lot of people who believe in Jesus, who believe they're going to heaven, who are really horrible people. And I know why. It's because when you think that you're going to heaven and that you're going to be immortal, you're welcome. When you think you're going to heaven and when you think you're immortal, that does something to you. It says to yourself that I can do anything I want. I can be this, I can do that. It doesn't matter. I'm already going to heaven. I'm going to heaven. I'm immortal. I can do anything I want. This is why in the ancient days, thousands of years ago in Greece, Rome, and things like that, immortality was a secret. The Eleusinian mysteries and things like that, the secret that they taught was that man's soul is immortal, because they wanted to make sure that people that learned of immortality were morally pure, because the only kind of person that can handle immortality is somebody who is morally pure, because anyone else will just use it and become, just a selfish monster. That's why Christianity was had the idea placed in there of what is known as a Holy Spirit or a conscience. Yet that conscience doesn't really work out too well. I've seen it from personal experience, and I've seen it in other people. It's one of the reasons why I practice the faith that I do. Now, there's going to come a time where everybody is going to be immortal. You're going to be immortal. You're going to live forever. Your body is going to change into a spiritual body, and you're going to be immortal, and it's going to be here on planet Earth. But the Earth is going to be really different, and we think that the Earth, most people believe that the Earth is going to be this wonderful place, lots of animals, lots of trees, and all this stuff. But I really have some really bad news for you guys, and you need to hear this because you need to prepare for it. The Earth is going to be demolished and turned into a barren rock wasteland. We'll be immortal, we'll live here, and everybody will be alive. I mean, we'll be able to walk down the street and say hi to Michael Jackson or Jim Morrison or Abraham Lincoln. Those guys will be alive, but we'll be on a big, huge rock. And also, there's going to be creatures there, big, monstrous creatures there on the Earth. And this is going to happen probably in the next 8 years. Next question. How can one see/communicate with the dead? It's very simple. When our bodies are changed, we're going to be telepathic. You're gonna be able to read minds in the new world. When we become immortal, you'll know what anybody has ever thought, ever, including this time here. It's true. So when we receive our spiritual bodies, you're going to find out all the things that all the people that you know have ever thought about you, and they'll know everything that you've thought about them. Hey Francisco, I hate to break it to you. If you're one of the 144,000, I don't think you'd be on this site. I'm not one of the 144,000. In fact, I refused it. The 144,000 are uppity little Pleiadians who are going to Mars and leaving us behind to die. That's who the 144,000 are. Okay? Hate to break it to you. If you want to be one of the 144,000, they've already been chosen. They were chosen in 1998. A mothership went around and chose everybody back then, and they've been around for a while waiting for this moment. But we, the common people that are going to be left behind, we need to learn how to be righteous and moral and good people so that we can stand against them in a way that justifies our position. Anyway, so how do you communicate with the dead? Well, in the new world, when everything comes, the dead are going to rise. Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin will be on a stage rocking out for us. And all the things that you've ever spoken to Jim Morrison. Some of you out there have shrines to, whatever, some person or whatever. Guess what? When that person rises from the dead, they're going to know. They're going to know. All the times that you've talked to your mom, talked to your grandpa, oh, grandma, blah, 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 they'll know. When they rise from the dead and everything is telepathic, guess what? They're going to know. That's how you communicate with the dead. Do it right now. Just speak to your whatever dead person that you want to speak to, because in the new world, when everything is renewed in the spiritual fire, they'll know then. They may not know now because they're asleep, but they'll know then, and that's probably when it's more important because you'll see them face to face. No, sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or make an argument. The 144,000 were chosen in 1998. A mothership that was hiding behind Hale-Bopp, which Marshall Applewhite of the Heaven's Gate cult saw. This mothership. Well, I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. I'm not going to deny that. The 144,000. That's something different. They're going to Mars. See, the 10,000. I've already talked about this on another video, but 10,000 years ago, we originated in Venus, and then we moved from Venus to Earth because the sun is expanding. See, the problem is in the solar system right here. Thousands of years ago, we originated on Venus, our species. Probably we were planted here by somebody, like a mixture of an octopus and an ape or something like that. And we got deposited on Venus. And then the people on Venus saw that the sun was going to expand, and so they had to get out of Venus. And so we moved to Earth, but then they realized that it's going to happen again. So they conditioned us to prepare us for another migration from Earth to Mars. And that's what's happening now, is that the migration from Earth to Mars is in about a few years, probably about anywhere between 3 to 7 years. But they weren't going to tell us. The reason why it's 144,000 is because after 10,000 years of procreation and all that, 144,000 is a perfect genetic sample for our species to propagate the universe. Because when they're immortal, they can go in space. When you're immortal and you don't need to breathe, guess what? You can go flying through space and go to planets and stuff. Yeah. Wouldn't that be fun? But we'll be stuck here on Earth. We need to break through the atmosphere if we want to go through space. So probably what we should be doing when the planet gets subducted and we're all with spiritual bodies stuck on this rock, we need to find a way to get off of this rock and get into space and then fly out and try to find somewhere else to go. Who are they? They're randomly picked. The 144,000 were randomly picked in 1998 by the mothership that flew around the world. It happened on the Mayan day at a time, which I think was July 20th. It might have been June 20th. I can't remember the exact date. But I was there, and I refused the gift. I refused. They were outside, and I refused it, and all the people outside made fun of me. Third question. What does spiritual actually mean? Well, spiritual means invisible, something you can't see. So when you're spiritual, it means that your mind, your body, everything about you is keyed in on that which you can't see. Because we can't see, yes I do, we can't see angels, we can't see spirits, we can't see you can't see what you are going to become. I can't see what I'm going to become. But I know it's going to happen. And it moves my life. If your life is moved by something that you can't see, then you're spiritual. Does that make sense? Next question. What is your philosophy on life? Really? Is it? I think it's. See, the thing is, I'm on a $30 ZTE track phone. This is a really cheap phone, but I'm getting a computer in a couple of days, so I'll be a lot better at this. Trust me. What is your philosophy on life? Well, I guess the easiest way that I can say it is that I believe that we're all the same person. That when I look at you, I see me, but with different circumstances, different genetic markers, things like that. And I want to treat people, that it's the classic golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated. But really, my philosophy on life is that how others treat me, that's how I treat them. And that's kind of a perversion of the golden rule. It is actually a Luciferian perversion of the golden rule, to be honest with you. But it seems to work. It seems to work. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I mean, you're not going to like everything I say, I guess. When you hear spirits speak, how do you hear? Now, this is a good question because I'm here in Los Angeles, California, in a hospital, Los Angeles, California, and I've been on the beach for about 7 years now. When I'm speaking, I talk about scary stuff. I apologize, but someone's got to talk about it. Oh, whoops, sorry. Anyway, so I've been on the beach for a few years now. Talking to people about exactly these things that I'm talking to you about right now. I have a big sign usually that says ask any question or something like that. People come up and they ask me questions just like these right here in these groups, in Namaste and great philosophical problems and all that stuff. And this one here, when you hear spirit speak, how do you hear? When people come up to me and ask me about love or their parents or their career, I know that around you and around them there are spirits. There are invisible beings that are following you around everywhere you go. And they are trying to tell you something, but they can't because they're not made of matter. Something that's not made of physical material can't affect someone. They can't affect your physical material. The only thing they can affect is your spirit. And you have to have your spirit activated. And the only way you can have your spirit activated is by going through what is known as the Eleusinian mysteries. Now, it sounds complicated, but actually it's a lot easier than you think. When you believe deep in your heart that you are immortal, that you are going to live again, that activates your spirit. So when you believe that you are immortal, that you are going to wake up after you die in a new body, your spirit lights up. And when it lights up, all these little critters that are running around, they see you. And they can impress you and push themselves on your spirit. All you people out there that go crazy sometimes, that's what's happening. It's not demonic possession, because these beings are not quote-unquote good or evil. They're creatures. They're things. It's like I always tell this to people. You treat a puppy a lot different than you treat a scorpion. You can snuggle with a puppy, but you can't snuggle with a scorpion. There's some spirits that you can be real friendly with, and there's some that you want to stay the far away from them as possible. What they do is once your spirit is activated, they can impress on you, and it takes years of practice to find out what it is that they're saying, what it is that they're doing. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Next question. Do you believe we are in a simulation? This is a great question. This is a macrocosmic question that the Rig Veda, the Mahabharata from what is known as northern India, they really discuss this macro stuff quite extensively. I tend to stay within the micro stuff because I'm more of a people person. I like to deal with the real issues that people have. But when it comes to the macrocosmic stuff, it's really simple. And I want you to really, really pay attention to this. Excuse me. When I say God, I mean a biological organism. This universe, macro, not the aliens or anything that's inside of it or us, but the big universe, is one giant biological organism. I think it's an octopus or a jellyfish. If you think it's a puppy, that's fine. I don't care. We can discuss that till the end of time, what this thing is. We really don't know. I like to think it's an octopus because I think that we look like octopuses. I don't think we're apes. I think we're more, octopus type things, or at least half of one, There were ancient mysteries that believe that the man and the woman were together as one, so they were 8-limbed, which is an octopus. So that's, that makes sense. But anyway, the simulation part is that this octopus is asleep, and it's dreaming about itself waking up and becoming a god. And what the ancients called Brahma Vishnu. Brahma is asleep, dreaming of Vishnu's life. And Vishnu is the simulation. So macrocosmically, are we in a simulation? Yeah. Yeah. Is it the Matrix? No. I don't like that movie. I don't like that movie at all. I saw half of it and I got bored. I saw the other half because I was forced to. So, if you don't like me because I don't like the Matrix, I like Star Wars. Anyway. I'm going to skip that one because that's going to be the last one, because that's going to be the longest one. What about us saving humanity? Trust me, dude, in 7 years, we'll be fine. If we just weather through this in the next 7 years, we'll become immortal and it'll all pass away. You don't have to worry about anything, dude. Let go of the world and live your life for the next 7 years. And when you become immortal, everything will fall into place, man. Okay? How do I learn to accept death? That's interesting. I just told you how to accept death. You're going to be fine. When you die, you're just going to go to sleep, because in a very short amount of time, you're going to wake up with a new body. Now, I want you to listen to this very carefully. When we are born, or when you're in the womb, we're surrounded by water. When we're pushed out of the matrix, we're surrounded by air. When you die, you're put down in the ground. But when your spirit is awakened, we will be surrounded by fire. Okay? Don't worry about death. You're going to sleep. You're going to wake up, and you're going to be immortal. Period. But us, we're going to be stuck here on Earth, which is going to be a rock. Are we going to get hit by Planet X? No. The sun, that big, huge ball in the sky, is expanding. It's gaining mass. It's increasing in size. It has been for quite some time. But the scientific community isn't telling us, because they know that if we all learn that the sun is increasing in mass and we're about to be destroyed, that we'll all go crazy. Okay? Climate change is not caused exclusively by greenhouse gas, although that does contribute. But greenhouse gases wouldn't have caused all these problems so quickly. The reason why we're having so many weather issues now is because the sun is increasing in mass at a great rate. Eventually, the orbit of Mercury is going to go in, and then it's just going to go, and our planet is going to be demolished. But it's okay, because we're going to be immortal. We're going to survive it, because we're going to live forever. What's going to happen is it's going to be like a giant ride. We're going to be dropping, whee, like that. We're going to be like, then we're all going to land like a big, huge ride. No, it's not going to explode. It's going to subduct. It's going to get smaller. It's going to gain density, but decrease in size. That's what's going to happen. So it's like, remember the gravitron, where the floor drops out and you're stuck on the wall and then you slide down? That's what's going to happen. Well, the radiation won't matter, because we're going to be immortal. Nothing's going to hurt us. When you're immortal here on the earth afterwards, you're not going to need to eat. You're not going to need to breathe. You're not going to need to drink water. Radiation won't matter at all. You'll be immortal. You'll live forever. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get hurt. And the creatures that are running around, because there will be creatures, the Nephilim, we'll be able to see the Nephilim. And they're not pretty. All the movies that you've seen and all the death metal covers that you've seen, yeah, it's going to be like that. What about the theory of free will? There's no such thing. No such thing as free will. There is no independent mechanism that makes you free. Not at all. Not at all. The idea of free will comes from what I call the Santa Claus complex. We're told that Santa Claus is real in order to keep us moral. And the idea of free will is just a philosophical concept to keep us moral, because there's people long time ago that thought that if we don't have a reward, we're not going to have any incentive to do good. But when you lie to somebody, that's actually the incentive to turn them into evil. So if you tell a kid about Santa Claus, and when they find out that it's not true, guess what? That kid is ruined for life. And I'm not saying anything about parenting or anything like that. Don't get the wrong idea. It's just that the concept itself is super flawed. Rather than think about free will, just be yourself, man. Just be yourself. What's the difference between soul and spirit? I go to the Greek. The soul in the Greek is psyche or psychology. That's your individual personality. Your spirit is that invisible person inside of you. You're a butterfly. You're a little caterpillar worm, and then you make a chrysalis, and then bam, you become a butterfly. That's the spirit. The thing is that when we get our new bodies, when we engulf in the flame of spiritual awakening, we're going to get a new body. And how that happens is the spirit inside of us. Think of the soul as the cocoon and the spirit as the butterfly forming inside. That's a good analogy. I just made that up now. So, what is the best compliment you've ever received? The only reason I picked this question is because I love the best compliment I've ever received. My father-in-law said that I have no guile. That's the greatest compliment I have ever heard in my life. That someone thinks and believes that I have no deception in me. And that is the best compliment, because I don't have any deception. Last thing I want to do is lie to you people. Last thing I want to do is lie to anybody, because I think that lying is actually the worst thing you can do to somebody. You know why? Because I know that in the future, you all and me are going to know what everybody's ever thought about us. We're all going to know. So if you're going to lie to somebody, eventually they're going to know, and it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. It's going to be bad. And I don't like feeling that way. Do you like learning that someone lied about you? I don't either. And that's like the greatest thing I've ever heard anyone say about me, is that I'm not a liar. I'm not a deceiver. What is my first spiritual experience? I already answered this a while ago, but I wanted to comment on it, because my first spiritual experience, I went to a church when I was like 7 years old, and there was a lesson on spiritual gifts, and they said, what spiritual gift do you want? And I asked to be a prophet, because I thought being a prophet would be really cool, walking around in sandals in the sun and screaming at people, and come on, I do that anyway. It's great. But then this guy came on the site and said, "Be careful with that power, dude." And I'm like, I don't have a big head about this. I don't really think I'm anybody. I'm not. I claim to be Lord Maitreya, the world teacher, but pretty much most of you don't even know what that is. So it doesn't really matter. Most people claim to be Jesus or, Buddha or something like that. They pick someone popular. I'm picking someone that's not popular. So you don't have to worry about anything. But yeah, I wanted to be a prophet. Now I've had spiritual experiences. I had a lot of them. And I want to talk about them, just to tell you, just to make conversation, because my head is swollen, and I've been waiting almost 3 hours now for my Decadron, and I still haven't got it. Now my head is swelling, and hospitals. What are the unwritten rules you follow and insist others follow? Transparency. What you see is what you get. I expect every person I meet to be who they are when they talk to me. I expect no disingenuity when it comes to me, because I am not going to be disingenuous with you. I'm going to be very transparent. I'm an open book. There's nothing hidden. I love you too. Thanks. This is actually my second live feed, so you got on board early enough. Eventually I'm going to have a computer, and it's going to be on 24/7. So, but anyway, I expect people to be absolutely transparent with me, and I expect to do the same. That's my unwritten rule. That's my big thing. Because I've met so many people. I used to be a born-again Christian. I used to be a minister. I failed really bad. If you do your homework, you'll find out, and you'll probably hate me, because most people do. when they find out what I did. And it was really bad. And I ruined my life. I ruined my marriage. I ruined everybody's lives around me. And I wanted to die, and I became a Satanist, still am, to kind of deal with that. But the thing is that after that happened, I wanted to be transparent. I didn't want to be somebody that I wasn't anymore. I wanted to be me, and I want people to be them. Whenever I talk to people that have spiritual problems or emotional issues, and they're asking people for help and things like that, I always tell them, you have the power to do it. You have the power to change your life. You really don't need me. You really don't need any of these people. You don't need anyone but yourself. You can get help, but once you get that help and realize who you are in yourself, do it. It's so simple. Stop trying to be something that you're not. You're not if you're not one of the 100. I hate to break this to you guys. If you're not one of the 144,000 chosen, you're not a Pleiadian. And trust me, guys, you don't want to be a Pleiadian. Please. I had one last night psychically attack me. Okay, I was psychically attacked last night by a Pleiadian because these people don't like me because I refuse them. They like me because of because I have this and that and this. They're really mad that I'm rejecting them because I love you and I love people with different color skin than they do, then I love them, and they hate me for it. Okay? That's the truth. So the last question is, what are your cosmic spiritual experiences? The main one was in 1998 when I was a witness to the mothership landing and marking some of the 144,000. Not all of them were in Portland. They went all over the world. It probably happened for about a year and a half between 1998 and 99. That was a major experience. On my birthday in that same year, 1998, I had an experience where this how can I say this? Okay. You know how you're looking at the world and there's your frame of reference, your peripheral vision? Well, I want you to imagine that that's just like a giant screen, like a giant movie screen, okay? And that you can take a knife and poke a hole in the middle of that screen and look behind it. I did that on my birthday in 1998, and I was going to walk through, but I decided not to because I thought to myself, I'm never going to be able to have sex with my girlfriend again. And you know what my girlfriend's name was? Her name was Mystica, and I used to call her Mara Maya. And if you know your Buddhism, Siddhartha was tempted before his enlightenment by a demon named Maya, the woman. And she tried to tempt him and tried to, but Buddha said, nope, I'd rather be enlightened, and he became the Buddha. Same event happened to me, and I failed. I failed. So that was a really massive experience for me. I became a Christian, a born-again Christian, and while I was a Christian, I had a couple of really amazing things happen to me. I had a being visit me. I was at the pastor's house, and I'm pretty sure that the pastor knew that I was Lord Maitreya and probably tried to kill me a few times because Christians. There are some Christians out there that if they met the Antichrist, they would kill him, regardless of whether they go to heaven or hell or not. Fortunately, I survived. Ooh. But I was staying over at Brian's house, and I was a Christian, learning the Bible and all that stuff, and I prayed and said, God, I'll fast all day today and pray and read the Bible and blah, blah, blah. A few minutes later, I cook some bacon, make some Pop-Tarts, drink some cocoa, and rather than pray, I go to sleep. And I have a dream where I'm sitting there with two other people playing Scrabble. And this guy comes over and goes, hey, could I play along? I'm like, sure. And then this one guy comes up, this guy that I know that's a Christian. And I go, hey, you want to play? He's like, you're turning this religion into a game. And he starts yelling at me. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is a dream. I could wake up at any time. And when I woke up, I was on the couch, kind of like this. I was on the couch like this. And it felt like that there was someone holding me down like this. And I couldn't get up. But I couldn't see anybody up here. And this wind blew. And I screamed. Ah! And it spoke to me. It spoke to me. It said, you are made of mind, body, soul, spirit, and faith. You need to build up your body. It blew on me. I heard a crack. I saw a figure in the distance, and it left. That freaked me out. But that phrase, you are made of mind, body, soul, spirit, and faith, that's 5. We have a mind, which is the program. We have a body, that's the vessel. Soul, that's our energy. Spirit, that's our self. And faith is the foundation. What you believe is what you become. What you believe is who you are. What you believe about yourself, that's your faith. And you'll get rewarded for that. I'm not talking about believing in a book. I'm talking about believing in what you are. Yes?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm just gonna draw blood from you, from your pick line.
Okay.
Helping Natalie because she's busy.
Okay. I'd like to. I guess that's it. That's all the questions. I guess I'll stop now because I got to do hospital stuff. I guess they're sick of hearing me talk because there's mostly Christians here, and I'm talking some pretty blasphemous stuff. So maybe I'll talk to you guys later. Get some friends. Watch my videos. Go to facebook.com/0classhero, Danny Shiva, or go to my YouTube channel, Danny Shiva, and look at some videos. Maybe you'll learn something. If you have any questions, hit me on Messenger. I'm in my hotel. I'm not a hotel. I'm in this hospital for the next 3 weeks, all by myself. I have nothing to do, dude. Hit me up. Ask me anything. Bye.